What do women around the globe think about family planning?
4 kids. I have 2 daughters and 2 sons. Remember growing up, I could hear people talk about birth control pills, but my parents were not, at her generation, most of them were not educated. So they didn't know a lot about birth control.
Yeah.
Maybe, like people, and also when you're educated, you have a job, you can't keep on getting like so many kids like they did in Africa and in Kenya. Let's talk about it.
Why do women around the globe feel like they can't talk about it? Will lack of access to family planning lead to an unsustainable population?
Coming from a country which is currently the second most populated country in the world, I feel that it can be a challenge because I think it can lead to a lot of lack of resources, and if the population grows, it's really hard to keep up with the hunger and all the poverty and everything that comes along with it. It can be a bigger problem later. I might have children in the future when I get married. I guess maybe 1 or 2, but not more than that, of course. Everybody's having more than like 2 kids. It kind of will be bad, like for everyone. But like, I think 2 kids is like a very nuclear family is what you call them, and I think that's like a really 21st century approach to like having a proper family or kid. Wish for like a male child. So sometimes due to wanting a male child, some women are pressurized to have more kids, targeted for having a male child. So my mother, like my parents, they preferred having a nuclear family, which is like 2 kids. But my grandmom, she had like more kids. Like she herself, when she was growing up, she had I think 4 or 5 siblings, and my mom has 4 siblings. That's like a huge family. And like my mom mostly has sisters, so that goes back again to the whole gender thing of why in more education about like sex education, like family planning education, that thing is improving, but like education is not free. Like here in America, we have like public schools which are like free of cost. In India, even like government schools, even though they're like less pricey, but you do need to pay money. And then again, that's where the thing comes about, less lack of resources. So if you have like smaller families, you can educate most of the people, but it's not enough. Because as the population grows, as I said, lack of resources, it's there, but it's like bare minimum. It's not enough. And then again, with the population, the weather impacts. So sometimes the weather changes rapidly. Because I think last summer there was like very less rice, which is like the main source of food because of the changing weather, and which led not only led less of crops and like resources for food, but also led a lot of farmers to do suicide. So that's like a big problem now. So I think the supply and demand thing of resources is affected by the population, and it seems to be enough, but like in the future I think it's not going to be enough.
According to UN estimates, India will become the most populous country in the world in just 14 years' time. So what can we do in the face of a growing population?
Sometimes we're not really good communicators, but we really need to be, because the general public is going to be affected by the research that we do. So I think it's really important that we take it to a level that a lot of other people can understand and break it down that this is an issue that's going to affect them whether they like it or not, or just pretty much point to what the data is saying in a way that can convey to many different types of people in different disciplines.
I think educating the public is important because it's the first real step to change. If people understand the processes that are going on around them, they're more inclined and more likely to do something about it. We need to educate the public because we want them to understand what's going on in our atmosphere, what's going on in our